Well, funny enough, that's where Godot's came from. They're French Huguenots.
Them heretics and schismatics.
Yep.
Yeah, it is kind of funny out there, Pav.
Yeah.
Two French Huguenots ended up in nowhere, Indiana.
Exactly.
Hey, Glenn, are we recording right now, Brian? Okay, real quick, before we do our introductions, because then Stephanie will see this. What was it like on BLSA guard? I was trying to explain to her that we were guarding nuclear and chemical weapons, and the two dumbasses that were doing this were me and Celene.
Up there in the gate, having fun, waiting for Sergeant Major, I guess.
Yep. And we had to tell Sergeant Major Renshaw he couldn't come on base because he wasn't on the Axis roster. I was trying to explain. But I was trying to explain to her how big the fucking rabbits were.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh, they aren't like the rabbits out at Fort Huachuca. No. I mean, you're talking about rabbits who come up to like your waist, the big jacks that run around out there. And when I say waist, that's their head, not the tip of those big ass ears. They were huge. And the drill instructors always talked about throwing people, if they didn't do their PT right, didn't do this or that, throw us off in the weeds for the rabbits to haul us off. Because those are some big motherfucking rabbits.
Well, we were watching The Rock, and when they steal the chemical weapon, she's like, oh, I'm like, nah, we were 4 guys on a base out in the middle of nowhere guarding chemical and nuclear weapons. As an extra detail.
All right. Well, we are live. Everybody, welcome back to the Mystic Syndicate. I am your host and Dungeon Master, Brian. And here we are at episode 52 of A Princess of Celene, a custom content Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. And so, like I said, this is episode 52. Make sure to, if you have not seen any of our previous sessions, make sure to go back. You can make sure to check us out on YouTube, The Mystic Syndicate. You'll see us up there. You can also check out our podcast on Spotify. You can also catch us on iTunes. There's a few other ones, but yeah, just type in The Mystic Syndicate and you will definitely find us.
We're number one.
Yeah, but we need to pump up those listener numbers and stuff like that. That's kind of our what we're trying to push for right now. So that would be kind of fun. Alrighty, so we're going to start off with introductions, and of course, we'd like to start off up there at the good old top right with Melinda.
Melinda, I play Grenna Babbleboots, a ranger, with her companion Bubbles the Ward.
I am Mike. I play Kiffy Blackhammer, a dwarven cleric of Fortubo.
I'm Ed. I play Sir Lord Ambassador Thomas Waverly.
Who?
No one of consequence.
His name is bigger than he is.
Hello, I'm Pav.
I had to adjust the camera, so now now I'm bigger than the name. So my milkshake's bring all the girls to the yard. Damn right, they're better than yours.
See, how can one follow that?
With a flamethrower.
Quickly with zest.
Hello, I'm Pav. I play Kelex Celene, a human paladin of Erroneous.
I'm Russ. I play Jarn Grimmer Toffermather Halderson, which is even longer than Ed's name. A fire mage.
Well, I am Tibble Snivenblaven. I am a gnome. Pretty much I've been a court artist. I've been chancellor of a nation, and I hang around with these yahoos.
Okay, very good. All right, so, my gosh, episode 52. This is pretty good. Yeah. Big thanks once again goes out to our the fine people who put together Roll20, which is our virtual tabletop. We, of course, are also using D&D Beyond as our character generator and encounter generator. So we use those until we don't have to.
I'd like to thank WotC for totally fucking up their VTT, so we'll never have to use that.
Yeah, it's very good, WotC. And also like to, I believe, if I remember right, it was Albie and Mike have birthdays this week, or they had them. So yeah, happy birthday, gentlemen. Yeah, glad that you were able to make it another year. That's important. And also we'd like to.
We made another level up.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
Mike?
Yeah.
Another level.
Level.
Level up.
No.
Hey, wait a minute. This is the third adventure since we leveled up last.
Mm-hmm. So, but it's about every fourth adventure.
Oh, every fourth.
Yeah.
I thought the original idea was every other event.
I thought it was too.
No. No. I do appreciate your all's combined effort.
Every fake encounter?
Every time that you guys have to deal with the Fey curse, you expect the level. Is that what you want now?
Yep.
I see. That's beautiful. Very good. And also, I'd like to thank Anna B. Meyer for her beautiful maps that she produces over on her website. So if you go to greyhawkmaps.com, you can see them there. Or if you can go to annabmeyer.com, you'll be able to get to them as well. She does have a Patreon page. Make sure to go over there if you have a couple of extra dollars to throw at her so that she can continue her wonderful work as being a fantasy cartographer for Greyhawk. All right, folks. So the last time that we were all together, which was like 3 weeks ago, you all had just finished having a couple of drinks at the Silver Fleece Tavern in Greyhawk. You were joined by Lady Raven, your necromancer friend, and she had asked a few questions concerning Pav's current situation and why he smelled of the Shadow Realm. After a few the subject was brought up, she had also shown that she has some attachment to the Shadow Realm, and that is actually where we left off, was right after that. Now, I think that happened after you all had dropped Princess Ela Elzar back at the Embassy of Ket. So that is where we're going to pick it up, if I remember right.
So after Kelex, after her display of the shadow magic, he does kind of look at her a bit nonplussed and says, "Thank you, Lady Raven. You've given me much more to consider." And he just kind of turns away and sits down.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I must be going. As she says this to you, she looks over at each one of you and says, "Please be very careful. Obviously, you all have crossed a bunch of different lines here." As she looks back over at Kelex, just giving you a very solemn look. Just be extremely careful. I think hopefully the next time that we see each other, there will be news of victory in Bissell. I have been keeping an eye out on how things have been progressing. I hear that Sir Truelight has returned once again to the capital. That's wonderful. So maybe this is where we are starting to wind down in that section of your travels.
We can hope.
She says,
Hope is not a plan.
I'm sure you all probably need the rest. It has been probably a very long journey for you. So she stands. Mhm.
Can I walk you out?
Of course. And so she stands up, swirls her cape around her, brings the hood back up, and Temple and Raven step out, leaving the rest of you sitting there in the Silver Fleece at a booth. And so she steps out with you, Temple. And she says, "So,
What are we looking at with Kelex? Is there anything we can do?"
Unfortunately, I don't really think that there is much you can do unless you plan on returning back to Zyph to take care of that sorceress. I think that is really about the only way that you might be able to free him, and even then, that might not prove successful.
Do you have any knowledge of this sorceress? Do you know anything of this Stro?
No, unfortunately, I do not. I never have heard of her before, and I don't usually travel in the circles of Drow. So
Yeah,
I mean, I'm already a pariah as it is. I mean, even here in Greyhawk, I get looked down on by fellow magic users. So I don't usually come here all that often, unless it's for something special.
I wouldn't blame you. Yeah.
I said,
I
will say, though, of all the magic users that I have met, I will say Jarn has always been very, very kind to me. She just, gives you a very nice smile with that. She says, of all of the magic users, I would definitely say maybe he's cut from a different cloth.
Nah, she's just a slow healer.
He knows that dreadful things will come for him in the night if he's not careful.
She chuckles a little bit and says, well, hopefully that will never have to occur. So, but I do have to go. Again, it is wonderful to see you. I'm glad to see you're in one piece.
Me too.
Yeah.
And you're in one piece too.
Yeah. She bends down and gives you a kiss and gives you kind of a light, a hug. And she says, we need to find a time when you can actually be away from all of this drama. Said it would be nice for you to come to visit.
Certainly. You have well, as soon as I hear something, you will know. It would be nice to have a week to sit back and relax, but the clock is ever ticking on that portent.
Yes. Well, fortunate for us that we have longer lives than our human friends. Maybe that will one day be.
That is a truth.
Yes. Says unfortunately, but yes, this is good. So
I guess I'll have to take up wizardry so that you have two wizards that treat you well.
Oh, that would be wonderful. I think what would be even better is if one day I actually got invited to be invited to have a seat on the council. I don't see that ever happening, but that would be a dream come true. So she reaches into her pocket and she takes out one of those little black stones that you've seen so many times. She said, well, I'll see you when I see you.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, okay. And she
meanwhile, Tomas is playing When Will I See You Again?
Performance check, please.
I wonder what would happen if in his drunkenness I actually put one of the balls into his mouth and broke it.
Damn. Okay, so Tomas, once Once again, you have proven yourself a true and accomplished troubadour, and as you have people swaying around, and they've got their
You've lost that love and feel.
so they're all like swaying to the music and everything. Of course, you can hear all of this coming from inside Timble. You can hear him belting out some more bars, and Raven turns, smashes the stone on the ground, and you just see her kind of just walk into it as she waves by, and she's gone.
I do the same. Wave back, go into the bar.
Okay. So yeah, when you walk in there, you see that everybody is swaying to this music. You have Tomas up on the stage, just really giving it 100% up there. Even though he is slightly inebriated, he is maybe it helps. You're not really too sure. So I guess you go back over to the table where the rest of your.
Oh, as he's walking down the steps, I'm pulling out my Bola Bellius zapper. I mean, I haven't really field tested this.
I think you've only used it like a couple of times.
Yeah, it missed everything.
Actually, I think you hit a Ket warrior who was shooting at the dragon.
Did I?
Yeah,
Well,
I think so. I mean, the first time you tried it, you tried to get Sentisha, and she blinked out of the way. She's terrible. Okay.
Just so many targets. So many targets.
Okay. So everybody is.
What are we going to do, guys?
Back in the tavern.
So, evil elf wizard, dressed drow, or let's go to the Fae and get this thing finally over with.
I vote for Faye. But we have a couple stops we have to make first. Gotta get.
we need some gems.
All right, look, I've got a date with the Conclave. So let's burn some days, get that done, get back to the Elf Queen, because I promised her I'd go back. I can't remember why, but I did. But so
yeah.
All right.
And I
That
believe
makes sense.
Kelex also has a appointment with the Hierophant. Another
Already had that. Do I have another one?
I believe you do have one more before you were supposed to go back to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's not do anything crazy. And
Right.
because I'm gonna bring me emergency weapons. If we had a box yay big and I could pull it out at any time when we didn't have anything else, what would you want in it other than healing potions?
I mean,
Well, you're the only
Besides-
one that needs like spell books and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I've got that part taken care of. But
No, he's not wrong in asking for the weapons.
yeah,
Can we get back to the Dragon's Hoard and pull some things out? Probably
You
not.
probably moved it-
if
probably
I
moved it
remember,
by
I think
now.
I think the Dragon's Hoard didn't have a lot of weapons. It was mostly gems and coins.
so
She kept the good stuff for herself.
Bill Butengati.
Yeah.
okay. So give me your major weapon. You know, obviously non-magical. I'll put it in
Rapier,
there. Yeah,
rapier, and poison dagger.
and we'll put it in there. That way, it's available if at any time we ever get captured.
And I'll provide some poisons to put in it also.
I have an extra set of armor unless Bob wants to try and have it retrofitted for him.
I don't
As soon as
think
we
it
pick up.
I don't think that would fit in the box.
And Pav, I
How big of
would
an items are we talking about?
strap.
Say again?
How big of items are we talking about?
No longer than 3 feet. That's a sword.
I think. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I can put a. Well, the only other Warhammer I have was given to me when I took on the Lord Protector thing. So I'm gonna. I think Kelex would actually give that back. Probably give it to True Light if he wants it. But I can get another Warhammer and give it to you as a backup.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. I have that two-handed... No, I gave that to the dragon. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, we just go buy from an armor a secondary weapon of everybody's choice. Maybe 2 sets of chainmail and toss them in there and go from that. If we meet an NPC along the way, we can arm them.
That's right, if necessary.
Okay. So we can do that when we go back to Greyhawk City?
Well, just over the next couple of days, bring it to me and I'll put it in the box.
Okay.
And then where are we, Brian, with regards to armor that we had pre-ordered?
Okay, so yeah, you should be able to pick that up the next day. Right now, it's a little too late. It's nighttime, so you'd have to wait till the morning, but you would be able to pick that up.
It's late.
Uh-huh.
So in the morning, we get the items we need, or whoever's waiting for something, and then we're heading to Greyhawk City. Is that correct?
I don't know when the meeting with
The Conclave.
When's your meeting? When's your moot?
Not tomorrow, but the day after, if I remember.
Correct.
All right, so we can head to Greyhawk tomorrow.
Well, you're already in Greyhawk.
We are at Greyhawk.
Are we in Greyhawk? Are we still Greyhawk? Oh,
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking we were in Celene. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
We came back.
That's right.
We had to drop off the princess, remember?
Yep. And that's right, because that's right. Kelex had his drunken stupor for all of half an hour before he got sobered up.
Yep.
We're good like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So tomorrow we're not going to do anything and get stupid, right? The reason I'm saying this,
Nobody's taking that one.
nobody's taking that. All right.
Nobody's taking that.
not get young.
I'll tell you what. I don't think we can guarantee it, but I'm sure most of us will do our best.
All right,
And look at it, Ed.
Brian. I'm starting at daybreak. It's going to take me 8 hours to inscribe the discs.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so I figured you would probably want complete quiet during that 8-hour period, so
I'm locking the door.
you're locking the door. Okay, very good. So that's good.
Little creature out there as a
Yeah.
Yep.
With Alpha as the guard.
Yeah,
right.
tell them to go away. Tell them to go away unless they bring turkey sandwiches or something.
That's right.
Okay, that's good. So that's what you're going to be doing. That's awesome. Let's see. I know that Tomas is going to go get armor or pick up his armor, which is fine. Kelex, I believe that the way we had this set up was that at noon you were going to once again return to the temple.
Okay.
If I remember right. I may be wrong, but it's now canon. You're going to the temple tomorrow.
Going to the temple.
You're going to the temple
Tomorrow at noon.
right? Grenna, was there anything special you were going to spend your day doing?
Well, I'm trying to plot. I'm trying to do it secretly until I know for sure what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Plotting? Grenna?
Because what?
Okay. Kiffy, was there anything that you had planned, or were you just going to just hang out.
I don't have anything really planned, so I'm just.
Hey, Glenn, read your messages.
Okay. And let's see. And Timble, was there anything special that you were going to do with your day?
I was with Lord What's His Fuss.
His fuss.
I thought I was bad with names.
You mean Tomas?
Timmy, yeah.
Oh, okay. Timmy.
Just as long as I'm not tampon Tim Waltz, but
Can't have that. Alrighty. So I guess you guys are going to return to. Well, I know Jarn. You have your own sleeping quarters up in the tower, so you don't have to worry about finding a place. Are the rest of you just going to go back to the
There's a pork right in front.
to the embassy? I mean, it's literally right down the street, but
yeah. Well, that's why we chose this place, because it was on Politician Row or Ambassador Row or Embassy Row. So
yeah, it's Embassy Row. Okay, cool. Alrighty, so you all head back to the embassy. Jarn heads back to the Crystal Citadel. You all have a very restful evening. Of course,
One rest.
Brian, I have some questions.
Sure.
Not right now, but tomorrow. Do we have access to griffins in Greyhaven? Greyhawk?
Unfortunately, you do not.
We do not.
Yeah, because you all teleported here. You did not fly.
Yeah, I wanted to try to get that done before while he was at the moon, Glenn.
Okay, yeah.
Never mind then.
That's okay.
Sorry, Grinny, you were asking about the dragon?
Yeah, is there a way we can talk to... Oh, wait, we could talk to the dragon, can't we?
Yep, Kelex has the the item that she gave him to talk with her.
It's a communication stone. Yes.
Well, I mean, everybody is busy doing something, and I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. Would it be possible to maybe talk to her to see if I can get a ride to the cave to go raid it for gems that we need to bribe the Fae with?
I mean, you can always ask her. Probably. I mean, there's always that chance. So let me go ahead. And so the next morning, now some of you guys had drank a little bit and were a little bit tipsy. So once again, you all are finding yourselves at the mercy of the hangover. So I believe that would be Pav and Tomas primarily.
I think Kelex was sobered up because he was someone cast Lesser Restoration on him. So I'm assuming that.
Okay.
Yep.
The rest of you rise, get dressed, get ready for your day. Grenna, I need you to make a perception check.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
Run!
Yeah. Get there. Go.
Did it work? Oh, okay. So, as you just kind of swing your feet off of the bed to stand up, you realize that one of your legs is longer than the other, and it's a little bit shocking to you.
It's especially if it's her third leg.
Well,
no,
I think the scales would probably be the worst part.
Yeah, so you're kind of looking at, and the leg is different than your other leg. This leg looks more, it's longer and slender. And you're just looking at it as you're blinking your eyes, trying to wait a minute, this doesn't make sense.
Wiggles, do you see what I see?
Well, right. Well, I mean, you have your own room, so you can't really stand up unless you stand up on this new leg that you have. And I mean, you can jump.
Bubbles. Do you see what I see?
Okay, so I need everybody else to make perception checks to see if you hear her shouting out from her room.
But Bubbles is in the room with me, is he not?
Yeah, he is.
So, Bubbles, am I seeing what I'm seeing?
He just he just looks over it and looks at your leg, looks back at you, and says, "Well, this is different."
This is new?
Yeah, this is obviously new. Have you recently came in contact with another Fey being or Fey creation?
Not that I'm aware of.
Wait a minute. You were at the life tree with the dragon. You touched the life tree.
Didn't I?
Yeah.
But I've touched it before. Nothing's happened.
Yeah, but something's happening now.
Say.
So make a constitution check for me. Oh, geez. Okay, so you're sitting there looking at this thing, and you're thinking to yourself that maybe if you just concentrate hard enough, maybe it will change back. But it doesn't seem to be changing. And you're looking at it, and you're not really too sure what to make of it. And it's kind of it's definitely concerning. But Bubbles is said, Lady Grenna, I'm going to have to be very frank with you.
Oh, and this is new. How?
I know, and I know it's been a while since we chatted, but I mean, you know that you're not a gnome, right?
Yeah, we figured that out.
Yeah.
A non-gnome.
Non-gnome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And you might also be kind of surprised to know that you finding me in the woods was not just, just off chance.
Kind of figured that. Normally they would have eaten you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You're going to be going through some changes.
It's a conversation you normally have with your parents.
Yeah. I mean,
puberty, I'm only 37 years old.
You're going to have hair grow in places you didn't have grow before. No. You get the talk and you're like, He says, yeah. I think, though, being that I do know a little bit about your predicament, that if you... Probably the best thing for you to do is just lie back down for a couple of minutes. Think about being a gnome.
Okay.
I'm gnomish. No.
Okay,
Thoughts.
so the rest of you all have the ones who, let's see, rolled a 22, a 21, an 18. You all hear her talking to who you think is obviously Bubbles, but you can't hear Bubbles. But you can hear Grenna in there talking, and but at least she doesn't sound like she's screaming out in agony or pain or anything. But it is kind of it is a little strange. But so Grenna, you jump back. Well, you kind of fall back onto your bed, and you start concentrating.
Brian, no, I am.
Brian, I'm
Yes.
going to unlock her door.
Okay. Okay, so you hear someone
That 28, she better not be
fiddling
hearing me.
with the door. Oh, okay. Well, was that a? Well, that's a sleight of hand. Roll your stealth. Don't roll a 1. Damn. Okay. So, yeah. So you don't hear the someone fiddling with your lock in your door, and so you get the lock undone. Timble, what are you doing?
I'm going to walk in and go, what the hell's going on in here? And oh my,
I'm a gnome. I'm a gnome. I'm a gnome. I'm a gnome.
Okay.
you need to shave that thing.
Okay, so yeah, as you walk in, just as it looks as though it looks like everything is fine. She's just laying on her bed, just chanting, "I'm a gnome. I'm a gnome. I'm a gnome."
Oh, what's a gnome I am?
But
I'm
as
short.
you make a perception check, Timble. Okay, so as you kind of scan her very, very quickly, you realize that one of her legs, actually it's her right leg, is probably about half the length of the other one. And it looks like it's a completely different shape. But as you're watching, it starts to transform into into the same size as the other leg that she has, looking more gnomish. And
Grenna?
your eyes flash open at the sound of Timble.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed. You saw that.
Grenna, why didn't you, I mean,
What the hell?
the other leg could have been longer. You might have been able to reach up on the shelves better. So,
No, damn it.
come on, back it off. Girl, take charge of that shit. Be you, whoever you want to be.
Till I figure out what this is. I am a gnome.
I think we know what this is.
You got horns. I don't need to be even weirder.
I think we know what this is.
So you're a horny gnome with a long third leg? Anyway.
No, that would be you.
He's too human to be a gnome. Yeah,
Yeah, so
you might want to keep that under control, I guess, but
Yeah,
you really, that could be of use.
Too bad I can't sprout wings and fly to what I need to
Have
do.
you tried?
Have you sat there and went, I want to fly. I want to fly. I want to be able to fly. Give me wings. Give me wings. Fly.
Just
Wings.
now that the
Fly.
legs show up. This is new. Welcome to my rebirth.
Like I said, we could have grown the other one longer.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Tomas tries to play, I believe I can fly, but he doesn't do very well, so.
Yeah, it's not as stellar performance as last night's at the Silver Fleece.
He's now to the point where he's drinking the leftover beer from his nightstand. You know, he's like, I believe I can fly.
So at this point, everyone else is kind of standing around the door, kind of looking in. Now,
Looks like
yeah. So as Grenna kind of covers herself up a little bit, you know, it's like, okay.
why are you here?
So
We're here for the donkey show.
Well, I'm ready to get my day started on that. No, everybody out so I can get dressed.
She's not dressed? Well, what?
Bubbles, get out of my room.
Well, yeah, because when you walked in, Temple, she was barely dressed, so she was.
That changes the context of the statement that she needs to shave that thing. Wow. I think I'm.
Oh my god.
Even I might be embarrassed. I'll walk out.
Okay.
No.
So as everybody else clears out and away from the door, and the door shuts behind them, Bubbles kind of looks up at you and says, "Okay, so to just kind of let you know, the more in contact that you become with Fey creatures and Fey beings and Fey creations, this might be something that you're going to have to deal with pretty often." Yeah. So
We should go to Faye then and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
okay. So everybody goes about their day. Tomas, you pick up your armor.
Did I get mine?
You got yours as well, Temple.
Actually, Kelex would probably go with Tomas because Tomas offered to give him his spare set, and he would like to try to see if he can get it fitted. So,
Okay. Yeah. You can definitely get it fitted. It'll take about a day to do that. They're going to take your measurements and go ahead and put those into their calculations and make sure that you have the proper fit. So
And,
you'll be able
and Brian,
uh-huh.
oh, I was going to say, what's the plus on this new armor?
I think we were looking at like a +2.
Okay, that works.
If I remember right.
Hey,
I think it was
Pav?
+2.
Hey, Pav, just ensure that they change the cod piece. We don't know where that's been.
I'll make sure to remind them to swap out certain pieces of the armor,
or at least boil it.
Some loose Lily Nels pubic hair stuck in there.
Oh god.
There's a vision for you.
Yeah. No.
I was saving those. I was saving those like Gimli does.
Guys, if you go back further, where did he get the armor originally? From the vampire.
No. I bought this armor. The vampire armor was not this armor. I actually bought this when I upgraded to plate. When I started calling myself ambassador, I bought the armor.
Yeah, he did change up.
Okay.
That is true. Cool.
Brian.
Yeah.
There was a 4-car wreck.
Cool. That's a smart idea, Grana. I read it.
Okay.
Very wise. Okay.
My moments.
So Kiffy, from what I gather, you're just kind of hanging out at the embassy, maybe do some sightseeing, maybe visiting a couple of different taverns and pubs along the way through the day.
Kiffy.
Maybe.
Yeah, like, is there a dwarf ghetto around here?
A dwarf ghetto. It's a barrio, sir. No. It's a
little dwarf
barrio. Little dwarf town. Well, I don't really know about actually that, but there are shops and artisans there that are, of dwarven proprietorships, So, I mean, you could definitely find dwarves. Dwarves are pretty easy to run into here. So, I mean, if you needed to...
just don't look where you're going.
I wonder if I can make myself look like a dwarf.
Yeah, I just want to be with my peeps,
Okay. Well,
Maybe.
yeah. I mean, really, you head out. You talk with some people. You end up going to the Talon in Turkey for lunch because that's kind of the popular place to go, and it's a good turkey sandwich. And you end up sitting with a few dwarves. Some of them are from the Iron Hills. Some are actually travelers from your clan, close family. And, they talk about, and you tell them about the things that you've seen. You tell them about the vampires. You tell them about all the crazy stuff that you all ran into. of course they're impressed, and they buy you, they buy you a couple of pints and stuff like that. So you're not having to worry about drink.
Right.
But yeah, they keep you kind of busy during lunch, and then they actually invite you back. One of them is a blacksmith and asks if you wanted to, help out for the day or something like that. They said they'd be more than willing to even throw you some coin.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
So this is really right up your alley because it's been a long time since you've actually worked. Actually, the last time you, I think, actually worked was when you created the rings for Tomas and Lily for their wedding. So it's been a while since you've picked up the hammer and hit it on an anvil. So you spend pretty much the rest of the rest of the afternoon helping these guys, pounding out sheets of metal into armor, helping forge a couple of blades. It's like you feel like you're at home without all the darkness and smog below.
Cool.
Yeah.
So he's having trouble breathing.
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of miss that part. That's the part that really kind of like, oh, that's a real shame that it doesn't smell like, yeah.
Are these the same people that did my armor?
They probably had a hand in it. So yeah, I mean, actually there were probably a few different artisans that worked on yours. Same with Timble's, but Timble's was more, I believe, of a leather works. So those were pretty much done by elves, where the plate stuff was pretty much done by dwarves. Yeah.
Well, as I'm walking around thanking all the artisans and going to the shops, killing time, waiting on everybody, and I see Kiffy working the forge, he does a quick performance of "Been a long time since he worked that forge." Dun, 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 dun. Been a long time, been a long time, been a long time.
And you rolled a 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot to chub up so I look like Robert Plant in my tight clothes.
That's probably in your new armor.
In my new armor.
You get a couple of looks, and some people actually like clap. They're like, hey, and then somebody says, hey, that was the guy who was at the Silver Fleece last night. And
play Freebird!
As you kind of look around it, but if you remember, you were kind of inebriated and didn't really remember the faces in the crowd, but obviously somebody remembered you. And so there's people like applauding. It's like, oh, hey,
I say aloud, whenever I'm at the Fleece, I feel like it's a place where everybody knows my name. Dun dun. Making the way in the world today takes everything you got.
All right, Norm.
It's like they need a waitress that looks like Shelley Long. Like 1980s Shelley Long. No, yeah.
My luck is I get Danny DeVito's wife.
Oh, Rhea Perlman.
Yeah.
I can't remember what was it. I can't remember the character. She was like a psychologist or something.
That wasn't that. That was Kramer came in, but who's the other chick that he was dating? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember her name. I just remember Rhea Perlman and Shelley Long. That's all I can remember.
I'm thinking about a menage a trois with him. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was beautiful. What a little bit of the Wayback Machine there. Yeah. Alrighty. So you pick up your armor. Jarn, you spend the entirety of your day for the most part in there pounding out these spells onto these plates of copper.
Bronze.
Sorry, on these plates of bronze. Yeah. So you work diligently on that. No one comes to bother you, so that's kind of good. Let's
which means they didn't get in trouble,
Yep.
or they didn't get in trouble. They got in trouble and couldn't get out of it.
Right. So Pav, I'm sorry. So Kelex, you end up going to the temple at noon. You can see that as you are walking up the stairs from the gather, you are by yourself in this endeavor. You see that there are two acolytes that are standing out front. They are dressed a little peculiarly, more formal attire, like there is some sort of special occasion.
Shit, they're going to put him in a padded cell now.
You're bad. So as you approach, they actually reach over and open the doors for you. And as you look in, you can see that there are several people here standing up, and they're like in a line heading up towards the altar. And there is the Hierophant. The priest, actually the bishop, walks up to you off to the side and says, Brother Kelex, as we had expected, on time, as usual. The Hierophant waits.
Yes, I was meant to. What is all this, brother?
All will be revealed in a very short span of time. Do not fear.
I'm not going through the Klingon pain stick ceremony or something.
No, you're not getting jumped in.
Well, now that you mentioned it,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a jumping in.
I move through the, through the people, kind of a little hesitant of what's going on.
As you're walking through, just kind of keeping an eye on everything, you see that there is a paladin of Heronius sort of steps out to the side of you, and he is holding it looks to be a very, very beautiful cloak. And as you pass him, he steps in behind you and places it upon your shoulders. Yeah, exactly. So, of course, everybody is smiling. Everybody is just, it seems that you are the one completely left out of what is happening here. Everybody else knows what's going on except you.
I continue forward.
Okay. So you finally get to the steps that lead to the dais, and where the altar sits. And behind it is the Hierophant. And you come to a stop at the proper location. And,
give him a bow.
Yeah. And he says, Brother Kelex, it is great once again to see you here. In recognition of all that you have done for your people and for the Temple of Heronius, I would like to present something special to you that will help you not just in your quests, but also to help you combat the darkness that lies within. And as he walks around to the side of the altar closest to you, he turns and lifts up this beautiful sword. You can tell immediately that this thing is, it's definitely not ceremonial in any way. It is definitely something that is extremely, you can feel the power coming from it. And he turns and walks down the steps to you. And he holds out this beautiful long sword. It's not a long sword in the fact that it's like it's got two edges. It's almost kind of more like a bastard sword. Yeah, more of a bastard sword than anything.
Okay.
And he hands it out to you.
I look down at the blade.
Etched,
Is there something about the pommel, or yeah?
Yeah, etched in the blade itself is the holy symbol of Heronius, the lightning bolt that reaches from the hilt all the way to the tip. It is inlaid with gold and silver, and at the end of the hilt, at the pommel, is just an absolutely radiant diamond. I need you to make a perception. Actually, make a religion check, if you would, please.
Ugh. Oh, actually, no. I'm not.
Maybe you should have some.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That's
that's
the thing about religion. It's not a wisdom. It's entirely intelligence.
Yep.
Which which is I feel always bad for clerics because
Yeah.
All right. But actually, I don't have it. I have actually a +6, so
that's not bad. Oh my. Okay, so as you gaze down and you look upon this beautiful sword, you realize that what is being handed to you is a holy avenger.
Oh, holy mackerel!
Oops.
Your Eminence, I'm honored you feel that I deserve to carry such a weapon, but I'm a little concerned for what we talked about the other day in regards to what's within me and the possibility of me lashing out.
He raises a hand. He says, "Brother Kelex, once you take this sword into hand, you will understand its true power and how it can aid you in even that regard."
Oh boy.
Mm. Okay.
Don't feel too bad. Many fighters have swords that are smarter than they are.
Okay. He's a little hesitant, but he does eventually reach down and takes hold of the pommel. Or basically the pommel and the blade.
Right. Okay. So once you do, inside, you feel the power of it just surge through you, realizing the power and importance of this blade, but also what rings in your through your head is a very masculine, deep voice that says to you, "How may I serve you?"
Okay. I'm he's
Okay. So let me kind of give you
he's a little stunned. Yeah.
I'll give you a little bit more information. Okay. So this is a holy avenger. It's in the hands of a paladin. It's an extremely powerful weapon. It is intelligent. And what it will do for you is whenever you are afflicted by the darkness, you will get a will save to help you fight against the darkness. But without this sword, you would not even have a will save. The darkness would just overcome you in times of extreme duress. So you have at least a fighting chance. But you can actually talk with the sword. The sword it will answer questions. And it's also kind of like when you're in that situation where you have to make a will save, it'll be like in ancient Rome when the generals would would bring the legion into Rome, there would be a lackey standing next to him saying that thou art only mortal. That's kind of what it does.
Memento mori.
Yeah, memento mori. So,
of course, the linguist knows that one, right?
So
thank you, Jarn.
So after my pause of hearing this, this voice in my head, Kelex, I guess he'll say it out loud because he's not, I guess he's only hearing this himself.
Yeah.
He's going to talk out loud. To help me continue upholding the light, to defend the innocent, stand against tyranny, continue to honor my divine oath, and embody the justice and mercy.
Okay, and you say this out loud?
Yeah.
Okay, you hear the crowd erupt in applause, and you as you look back up towards the Hierophant, you see this smile on his face, and he
You
says,
should have to do a performance check. I do.
"No."
I'll give it a try.
And
Just-
so, yeah, and so after you say that, the rest of the paladins in the group come and surround you, and each one of them places a hand on a shoulder or on your armor, and they repeat the same what you just said, and it just rings through the entire temple. And so the Hierophant says, "Now proceed, go forth, Brother Kelex. Fight the good fight. Take this sword and strike down the enemies of Heronius. With his blessing."
You have my thanks, Hierophant. I think you've given me more hope than I've had in the last few days.
You see that he just smiles and says, "So, good luck." And again, now you hear people clapping, and there's cheers being risen up, from the congregants, and so you're standing there in the middle of this throng of paladins and priests and acolytes who you can feel the power, not just from the sword, but from everything that is around you, everyone. It's humbling and also empowering at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I'm awestruck. Kelex is awestruck.
So, you can do whatever you want at this point in time. They hand you a beautiful scabbard that goes with it that you can either wear it on your back, or you can put it, wherever you decide you want to place this thing for easy access. Yeah.
I think I'm probably going to head back to the embassy and kind of reflect a little bit about this. I'll probably, send some prayers to Heronius, and definitely reflect on this.
Okay. All right. Very, very good. Now the cloak that they placed over you was more of a ceremonial thing, but you of course keep that. It is a beautiful gold and white silk. It's very impressive. It definitely shows that you are a paladin of some power.
So it's probably not something
renown.
Not something to take on my travels, more for ceremonial garb, right?
Yeah.
Wear it. You look like Liberace.
Sequence.
My question is how good is it at shedding blood? You don't get stained.
Okay, so yeah, if you can add the Holy Avenger to your repertoire of weaponry that you carry with you.
All right,
Gentlemen, my question is, why do we need a Holy Avenger?
Well, you don't know anything about the Holy Avenger right now.
Oh,
You're too busy.
I think it's a character asking.
That's not in character. That's
That you just like going, why the hell do we need one of those things?
This is us in the tavern waiting on him to show up, saying, "You know what? I don't think we need. I hope we don't ever need a Holy Avenger sword." So
it's like the last thing we need. Okay.
Because we've never put ourselves in a position where a good sword like this would come in handy. Never.
With a wisdom save bonus? Holy crap!
I could use a pair of brass knuckles.
You could use a pair of brass balls.
Oh no, mine are made out of solid rock, bitch.
Damn.
Nice.
That's rough.
They're made out of pumice. They float in the bathtub.
All right, Mr. Microbiology.
Moving right along.
Okay.
Let's sit and
Let's go.
celebrate.
Okay. So, yeah, Kelex, I guess you're going to proceed on back to the embassy,
That is correct.
Which is great. Okay. So, the rest of you spend your day either, like I said, a lot of you picked up your armor. Kiffy worked on a forge for a little bit. Grenna, what was Grenna doing again? I can't remember.
Growing legs.
Oh, trying to grow a pair of legs. Okay, so eventually, after everybody is finished with their day, you finally make your way back to the embassy. Probably right in time for dinner, which of course, that's one thing that they definitely serve there every evening, especially when they have special guests such as yourselves. Now, Jarn, of course, you know that the next day early, you will be going to the Conclave at the Crystal Citadel. That's kind of the big thing. And
I have a brand new loincloth for that.
Okay, good. Loincloth. And, of course, the subject matter is going to be the Drow Sorceress, Adra.
Adra, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at least you know what the subject material is, and you are probably going to be expected to recount your time in Zyph.
Mm-hmm.
So that right there is at least you're not going to go in blind. I don't know what.
We have a person for that. We don't really have to say anything. We can eat and leave Timmy to his machinations.
Well, Lord Tomas is going to actually, and by the way, it's Tommy, not Timmy. Tom. I am going to check in since I'm at the embassy, see if there's any news from the yeomanry and anything like that.
You haven't had anything. Delivered recently. So,
gotcha.
Okay. So after a fitting meal, Kelex, I don't know if you were saying anything or you were just keeping everything nice and quiet, because you were completely on your own. The
yeah,
whole day.
Since when everybody gets back together, I guess I'll show my
hey guys, look at this.
What do you think? What I got?
Let me whip this out.
Now, while you guys were out having fun today, I was kind of waylaid.
Hopefully, he's not running around like in Game of Thrones. He's like, this steel sword. Let me cut this shit.
I'm just glad they didn't make me Lord Protector of all the churches or something like that.
Right. Yeah. One more thing to add to your resume. Yeah. So yeah, as everyone is sitting there having a dinner, Kelex kind of surprises everybody and breaks the news that.
I sit down and just kind of put the blade on the table, a little still bit awestruck and stunned by it all. So.
Yeah, as soon as he brings the sword out and places it on the table, everybody make either a intelligence or a religion check, or an arcane knowledge check. Any of those will work.
Can I go history? maybe know the history of the sword?
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm just killing it today with my knowledge.
Yeah, Jarn killed it. Kippy killed it. Temple killed it. Jeez. Tomas killed it. Damn, you guys are rolling 20s. It's crazy. You'll need those. You guys might need those 20s later, by the way. I just thought I'd let you know.
Nah.
See,
We're
that's
shooting
what I
our
get
wad
on-
tonight because we know we'll never get to combat tonight.
Well, you never know. Life is weird. Okay.
Believe me, I do know.
So Jarn, Kiffy, Temple, Tomas. As soon as this blade hits the table, you all go, oh.
Stand up and step back.
Grenna, though, looks at it. I mean, you were impressed by its absolute beauty, but you do not understand what it actually, what's the significance of it. You're just kind of thinking, wow, I wonder how much that ran Kelex. That looks expensive.
You used all the dragon gold?
Damn.
It was gifted to me by the church to help me contain and maybe defeat this shadow business.
Oh, we are so fucked.
Yeah, he's still very, awestruck by this. So, yes. So
Remind me not to take you back to the temple.
And this is what happens.
Yeah, don't feel too bad. Many fighters have swords that are smarter than they are.
So actually, I'll talk to you about that later, Brian. I was going to kind of get a bit more information. Well, maybe as we go along, maybe I'll get more information.
Sure.
About the voice in the sword.
Of course.
Well, seeing Big Sexy there, I had started immediately to draw and set it up a picture of him. I rolled a 27, so
wow,
ooh, nice.
It's a pretty good picture.
Yeah,
I think we can maybe move it to a painting to be hung here into.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Right here in the embassy.
Well, this has definitely given me a bit of spark of hope that.
Oh, you've already got all the cool kicks. Don't start bragging now.
And that means you guys won't have to kill me if I start going bad.
We got that handled. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, my friends, what's the plan for today?
Conclave.
Okay.
Is that just you, Jarn, or
we're
are we all invited?
Well,
You're all invited. You're my entourage.
Oh, I'm busy. I'm doing my hair.
You're doing
Which one? Alex is wearing his new fancy cloak.
Calling me a part of his entourage. Yeah.
I
I'm going to
need
be
you to draw
busy
pictures.
doing my hair.
No, seriously, Temple. I need you to draw pictures because we need to know who all of the powers are and what they look like. That way we can talk to her uncle.
We'll start sketching it out. Well, hell, we could probably invite him along and add him to everything, but or maybe he has an agent, but I don't know how to get a hold of him. So that sucks. But we'll work it out.
Okay.
Can I get on stage with you?
I'll do what?
Can I get on stage with you?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
You can hide under his cloak.
No.
I actually think I have formal robes for this.
Yeah. I think I'll be like side of the stage, peering out and doing the pictures.
Okay. So after everyone gets prepared and dressed, Grenna, at least you wake up this morning with legs that are normal. But you do.
To be a dwarf.
But
Your hands.
in the night, though, you did have a very strange dream that you had lost your horns, and your eyes had changed to different colors. Like one was like gray and the other one was like a dark blue, and it was really kind of unsettling. But you didn't wake up from it. You just had this weird, creepy kind of feeling in the night, and but you didn't wake from it. You just kind of you did some dream control there and was able to kind of focus it somewhere else. But the first thing you did when you woke up is you immediately went and tried to make sure that your little horns were there, and they are. So
I wrote the dream down in my little book.
Okay.
Is she molting?
I wouldn't tell you if I was.
Like a lobster? That would be fucked up. Or a giant spider? It's gonna look like a Kafka story. Next thing you know, you're just like a giant spider or something. Like, what the hell, man?
No, if I'm going to do something, I want to do HR Gator. Not Gator. Usher.
House of Usher? What?
Usher. Creator of Aliens.
Escher.
Better that than like a Cronenberg or something like that. Oh, boy. Okay. So, as you all prepare yourselves, come down, get a little bit of bite to eat before you head off to the Crystal Citadel. Everybody is dressed in more finery than usual. It's rare that non-wizards get to actually attend, but being that you all had been affected and had you have firsthand knowledge of this threat, that they have allowed your team to actually appear before the conclave at all. So you make your way. Yes.
As Tomas walks in, and he overhears some murmurings of this. He does point out to him that I do cast wizard spells.
Okay. So as you all arrive early, and there's not as many people in the Crystal Citadel early in the morning as they are usually by 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. But you do see there are an awful lot of probably very, very important high-level wizards. You can see them. They are, dressed in their robes and everything as they make their way into this the two large double doors, which is where the meeting hall of the wizards is located. As you all walk through, there's a momentary little bit of gloom, little darkness there, but then a curtain parts, and you can see this beautifully magically lit circular room. In the center is sort of like a stage. It's very reminiscent, kind of like the Harry Potter sort of thing. But everything's kind of in the center, and then everybody kind of is around them. You actually see that there are floating seating, just like that are kind of just like hovering around and stuff like that.
Like the Senate in Star Wars.
Yeah, very close. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's actually that, but you can see that there is a very old, very ancient-looking wizard standing in the center. He has these very ornate robes. He is carrying a very ornate staff made of what you can only probably believe it looks like birch. It is so white. But then again, you're not really too sure what it's made of. It could be made of something completely different. And so as everybody, you hear the murmuring, people are talking a little bit as you all kind of step in. Bilius is there, and he says, "My friends, welcome. I am glad to see each of you. I've heard your story. It's been kind of floating around. We have our ears. But today you guys are going to go before before the highest of wizards. So I can't wait to see what happens. I know that this situation with the drow has gotten to a point where this is obviously a major threat. And he said, but I want you guys to set with me. So he actually comes over and you see him reach up and he calls down one of those floating,
cool.
The floating seats. And there's plenty of room for everybody. It's kind of roundish, so you can all sit in there. He said, and so you all get in there and you can see once everybody takes a seat, it starts to float up above all of the, of what you see. It takes probably about another good 10 minutes before everybody shows up. Like I said, you have wizards of all types. You have female wizards, male wizards, elves. There's a couple of dwarven wizards. There's a few gnomes scattered about. It's really kind of, it's an interesting group of folks. And as he says, Bilius looks over and says, okay, so the elderly gentleman in the middle, his name is Finster. And Finster is probably the oldest wizard that has ever lived. He is what we consider the high mage of the Citadel. I know he looks a little formidable. He's extremely powerful. I could only hope to be that powerful one day. But he's going to be the one who's going to be probably questioning you, asking you about your story. And so don't be intimidated. He's actually a very nice person. But he definitely needs this information. Any little bit of information that you can give him will help him figure out what we need to do next. As a group of wizards, we feel that this is very, very important. So
Keep saying story like they don't believe it actually happened.
Well, yeah, there are some who doubt. They want to hear for themselves. They're.
This is a committee. The only known living organism with multiple legs and no brain.
Who did you say was questioning?
Finster.
His name is Finster.
Finster.
Yep.
The window.
He's the window.
Okay.
Your soul.
That's okay.
Finster is German for window.
His name could have been Fuck No, which means in the window. Alrighty, so we wait till everybody gets up there.
Okay.
And, we're
okay. So everybody's finally seated. You see Finster there wraps his staff on the floor 3 times, and everybody goes quiet. And he says to everyone, and you can see that while he obviously has cast prestidigitation, his voice booms out, even though he doesn't really seem to be putting a lot of power or projection behind it. And he says, welcome, my brothers and sisters, and those of the arts. It seems as though this conclave has been called for a very special purpose. As he kind of looks around, his gaze finally lands upon your group. And he says, it has been brought to our attention that there is a darkness that is lingering to the west. A drow sorceress, a tale of absolute terror. I know that some of you have came to me professing that you have not been able to see this in your ability to scry, but I have here those who were actually there. and he reaches up, and as you can see, the floating disc that you're on starts to drop. So obviously he's calling it forth.
Mm-hmm.
And as he steps off to the side, he kind of puts you guys in the center. You're still floating. You're still seated. And he steps off to the side and he says, "So, who will it be of your group that will tell the tale?"
It is I, Jarn Grimmer Tolfermather Halderson, student of Sigurd Orminager. And currently the High Wizard of Pelic.
He says, "Then
we went to Zide.
And then he says, "So then speak, Jarn, and tell us your tale, and hopefully it will shine some light on the dangers that we face as a citadel."
My companions and I traveled to Zyph to rescue the Prince of Celene, young Val, who had been captured in war. The Zyph forces had taken him to their capital. We flew there with some griffins and were able to enter the tower, where the dungeon tower where they were being held. While we were there, we were attacked by a drow sorceress, Adra. Very powerful. She killed with a word. And I explained all of the combat and what she did and what we did. And we were lucky to live.
He says, "Thank you very much for sharing your tale, Jarn. You said that she could kill with a word. Who was it that was struck down?"
Our noble paladin was struck down.
Kelex steps forward a bit.
He was saved by the intervention of the King of Zyph.
You hear a murmur kind of go through the group, and then you see within the group a man stand up in the back, who's wearing long robes and a turban, and he is very dark featured, and he shouts out, "These are lies! These are lies! This Emperor of Ket sits upon the throne. How dare they tell these despicable tales?"
I will be glad to prove my words upon your body.
You can see that he looks at, "Is this a challenge, sir?"
Well, it may be for you, but not for me.
You hear like a lot of murmuring going on and things of that. And Fencer puts his hand up, raises his wand or his staff, and he says, "We will have time for this later. But if what he says is true, then you, sir," as he once again addresses the turbaned gentleman, said, "you have answers. You will need to have answers for his accusation. If he proves that he is true, you do realize that you, sir, could be found without a seat on this council." And you see he just slowly sinks back into his chair. And he says, "Is there anything else you would like to add?" And then he looks to you, Kelex. He says, "You, Sir Kelex, you were struck down by this fiendish woman."
Yes, with a flash. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
As I see that you are here, and I see that you are well. If this
with my
is
esteemed
true,
colleague,
is it true what he says, that you were brought back by the actual Emperor of Ket himself?
what my colleague here says is true. I was stunned myself to realize who it was that saved my life by sacrificing his own.
Amazing. And so you say you have proof of this. Jarn, how is it that you shall prove this to be true?
Would you accept the testimony of the Queen of Celene?
You hear another murmur kind of go through the group, and as you say this, you see Aldor Morsivey stand up across the room, and he says, Your Eminence, the Queen herself would be more than willing to give testimony in the fact that Master Jarn speaks true. You see, everybody is now getting very, you hear like murmurs going through the crowd, and people are looking around, every once in a while looking at you, and then looking at the turbaned gentleman up at the top of one of the rows. And Morsivey sits back down and says, Finster says, "So, if that is true, I will send some envoys to Celene to talk with the Queen this afternoon. Once we have ascertained that this is truly the case," then he looks sharply back over at the turbaned man. He says, "Then we shall talk about the proper ending to this conclave." He again turns back to you all and says, "Thank you for your testimony in this." And he says, "But before one should leave, I need to... We have been kind of remiss in our welcoming you, Master Jarn, to the Citadel. I'm very, very sorry that you have been not overlooked, but we have been quite busy. And as the mage of Pellic, who replaced Antero, a good friend of mine, I feel that we need to make amends for this oversight." As he says this, he immediately reaches out, snaps his fingers, and you are no longer sitting in your seat. You're standing in front of him. Everybody else is like, "Uh-oh, okay, well, this is different." So you're standing.
It looks like the tweet I just sent.
What's that?
It looks like the tweet I just sent. Russ has a copy.
And I think Grinna had a question real quick.
Grinna?
Forgive my ignorance on this, but if they can move people like this and all that, can they not cast a spell that would project the image from your head to where people could see it, or at least some sort of spell to make you tell the truth?
Well, I mean, they could force the truth from you, but this is not that type of place. I mean, we're not, they're not evil.
That's probably just illusory in nature.
He's not a prisoner.
Around you, and if you lie, it falters, and if you're telling the truth, it continues to glow. That kind of thing.
I think as they're wizards, and intelligence is their biggest thing. That's because there's a zone of truth spell you could use.
Oh yeah.
Mostly it's from a cath or cleric or a paladin's kind of thing. So they're probably more about information gathering and more deep. Yeah, that kind of work. So
that would be much easier.
They're stubborn in their own ways.
Yeah,
and just send people to go talk to people who may lie.
Right,
and then you have to think about there's the ethics too. I mean, because within the wizards, you got your evil wizards, you got your good wizards, and they have vastly different ideas of what is acceptable behavior.
Right.
It was a question.
See, yeah, I mean, if you were...
It was a good question, though. Yes.
No, it is good. I mean, if Jarn was a prisoner, he may not be afforded that, but he is a peer, which is totally different. I mean, they don't want to, it would be.
It's not like you said you don't believe me, then cast a spell of truth on me and allow my words to show you or something.
I'm not letting anybody cast any spell on me because I don't know what they're going to do. That's what counter spells for, damn it.
And so
he's even afraid of my mighty magic.
So when Kippy's trying to heal you, you're going to cast counterspell because you don't know what he's doing?
Okay. So as you're standing there, as you're standing there before him, Finster looks around very, very quickly and meets Morris Ivy's gaze. Morris Ivy stands up and he starts to walk down to the pedestal that you all are you and Finster are standing on at this time. And you can see that he's carrying something wrapped in a sort of a dark red cloth. It looks very staff-like. And as he finally approaches, he hands this over to Finster. And he says, my good friend Aldor, please step up here with me. And as Aldor steps up, you're standing there with these gentlemen, and he says, "Jarn, you have once again shown great resilience in what you have done with magic. We have heard of wonderful things that you have done in the name of your people and the name of your country that you protect with your magics. We have also were told that you recently lost a very powerful magical item, that you had done everything that you possibly could to aid your friends, and in so doing, you lost this item. And with that in mind, I would like to present this to you." And he takes the cloth off, and I need you to make a arcane knowledge check with advantage.
All right, how do I make it with advantage?
You just roll twice.
Oh, okay.
No. You just right click on it.
Yeah, you can right click on it too.
Not that one.
Oh,
not that one either.
Wow. Okay, well, a 14 is good enough. Okay, so once the cloth comes off, you immediately recognize that this is a staff that you have seen other wizards here carry, and this is a staff of power.
Ooh.
And he hands it to you. And
Thank you.
And
I will try to be worthy of it.
He says, "Very good." He turns, and this time everybody is clapping. Everybody's like, "Yay!" This is wonderful. The only one who isn't clapping is that guy who's sitting up there in the turban. He is glaring at you. With you can definitely see the animosity is building within him. But everybody else seems to be extremely pleased with you as Aldor reaches over and shakes your hand. Finster also takes your hand and it says, "Welcome to the Citadel. May your seat here never want for a warm bottom upon it." And you hear some chuckling going on and stuff like that. And then the doors are now opened and everybody is now filing out. You kind of think this whole entire thing that went on, the retelling, everything took probably about 45 minutes. So now it's still early morning, but when the doors open, you see that the place is now bustling with apprentices, and others are going about their day inside the every so often as you're walking out, somebody like clasps you on the shoulder, claps like, "Hey, congratulations, welcome to the Citadel." And but
I want my pocket.
Yeah, primarily Bilius and Aldor are walking with you out, and they said, "Well, it is good to finally say that you are truly a member of the Citadel now. Trust me, if Aldor here hadn't have brought it up, they might have overlooked you again at this conclave. But
Thank you, Aldor.
Yeah, he just says, again, you all had done so much, and once I saw that you had lost your fire staff, I knew something had to be said. He said, so good luck.
Well, it was used in the highest cause, and this one will be used in the same way if necessary.
Okay.
All right,
Master Morzivy.
Yes.
Aldor, if you could give me a moment. Who is this man? And I'll hold up the picture I drew quickly. I rolled a 36 on that, so I think I've got him.
Okay. He looks and says, "Wow, that is a very good likeness." Yes.
He draws like Napoleon Dynamite.
He says, who you have sketched is a gentleman named Gerbera.
Gerbera.
Gerbera. Gerbera. He is the royal wizard of the Empire of Ket.
Minor enemy.
Yeah. He says, I kind of figured that there was going to be something possibly said during this. I wasn't expecting him to be so boisterous about it. Unfortunately, he may have actually just cost himself a seat in the Citadel. But so much better for you.
Well,
Yeah, there's an opening.
That and, well, I now have an enemy. And one is known by his enemies.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, you have an enemy.
Well, there are lots of ways. There's lots of ways to deal with an enemy.
Yeah. Wizard fight. Yeah.
Being silent and ignoring them works best.
Not when they're wizards.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So,
well,
anything else you need to ask?
He left quickly, correct?
Oh yeah. He moved out pretty quickly.
Well, I'm going to be kind of on that high alert thing where I'm watching everything everywhere
Okay.
as I can, trying to see if he has sent someone to mess with us or Jarn. But I'll be on high alert. But if I see him, I'm heading off, and I'm going to tell you guys that I will go after him if I see him.
I'll tell you what, Temple. We need to talk to Grenna's uncle.
Oh, I think you want to add a name to the list, and I was thinking of castration.
No, I don't want to be castrated.
Wait a minute, you mean you're not?
Remember, I'm not allowed to do your mama jokes.
You're right. You're right.
Okay.
And I returned the same courtesy.
But if we were reenacting the world according to Garp, well, we know how I was castrated with your mama.
Ooh. I do remember that movie. That was a good movie. Anyway, so we need to go back to Eustat. Y'all ready?
Why are we going back?
Go back up to the office. I'll cast the teleport spell back to Mos Eisley's tower and head on out.
Okay.
There's got to be another teleport.
I'm with Grin on this one. What are we going to Innistat for?
Because I told the queen we'd come back.
Yes, and talk.
Oh, okay.
Just come back and report
Thank
on what they said in the mood.
I don't remember why, but I remember I promised that. There has got to be another teleport point in Evastat, and I want to find out. I ask Aldous if there is one, and if so, can we get it so I'm not imposing on you so much?
So as you ask him this, he says, well, I mean, I, of course, don't have a problem with you using my teleportation circle. I feel that...
Yeah, but, I mean, we brought griffins through it.
Yeah, okay, yes. But thank goodness that I had the observatory open so that you could... I mean, it's not a problem. I mean, usually, customarily, a member of the Citadel can use others' teleportation towers. I mean, if need be, I could easily use the one. Being that I was a friend of Antero's, I have access. I know Billy has access to the tower in Pellic. I don't know if he actually has the one to Celene, but I mean, he might. We do share, and people do travel, so I mean, we try to make those things open. I know that there has been talk amongst some that there is special stones that can be used to create permanent portals but I only know of one person who's actually studying it. As a matter of fact, she was at dinner the other night. Your necromancer friend.
Yes, Raven.
Yes. She is actually... Now, this is, of course, hearsay. I do not know if this is true or not, but it is said that she is looking for certain stones which will open up certain passages in regards to portals.
I know for a fact that she has some that can allow people to travel to her. I also know that the Drow have stones that will allow travel to the Underdark.
And this is why primarily your friend Raven has kind of stepped outside of the bounds of the Citadel. She is, of course, being watched.
What exactly is the issue?
The issue is because she has trafficked in magics that are known to be of Drow origin, shadow origin.
Okay.
That is, of course, highly frowned upon here.
Understand. I have a different view of that particular. It's an energy. It's like fire and lightning and water. It's just a different means of power.
Understandable. But of course, we also look at it from an ethics standpoint.
Agreed.
I mean, we do have rules. He looks down at you, Timble. Said, Timble, is there something you needed to add?
Out of character.
Okay.
I have a thunderstorm warning that's just started, and it's coming right down the interstate right at us. So if I drop, I will endeavor to get back in, but I could be gone for the evening.
Okay. Totally understand. Thank you for letting me know. Ooh, that's rough.
Hey,
okay.
Albie, check your phone.
Okay. So, as you all are getting ready to, I guess you head up to your teleportation circle and get ready to return to Instead.
Thank you, Ed.
As you're casting your spell, the magical runes on the ceiling and the floor light up. There's a knock at your door.
I can leave it open for 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm not worried.
Okay. So
Check the door.
Okay, so you walk over and you open the door, and standing in front of you, it looks to be 2 acolytes and a young wizard. The 2 acolytes are human males, and the young wizard is a female elf. And she greets you and says, greetings, Master Jarn. I am Kana. I was sent by Finster to travel with you, if possible, to instead to talk with the Queen.
Crazy weird on time timing.
Yeah. Well, and
binary, yes or no?
come on in. And as they pass me, I'm going. I think they got it.
As long as we don't have another Shirley Templar moment.
Yeah.
She looks around and says, thank you very much. Of course, we could find other means of transportation, but I felt
I've already got it open. Let's go.
Excellent. So they all go through and appear in Mor's Ivy's tower. Everybody is standing there. Again, Kana looks at you and says, Master Jarn, thank you so much for allowing us to travel with you.
Yep.
Please
come with us.
Oh, are you to speak with the Queen?
We are going to the castle.
Perfect.
Please come with us.
Great. So they allow you all to go first, and you see that they fall in right behind you as you all start to make your way down. Once the door opens, you see that there are 2 guards standing there. They immediately come to positions of attention, showing their proper salute, and I
need an escort.
Okay, so both of them, one of them whistles down the hallway, and 2 other guards immediately come flying up the corridor. He says, Master Jarn needs an escort. Sir, where are you going?
We're going to the castle. We need a platoon.
Oh, a platoon?
Platoon.
That's
how many is it?
That's like
28.
Yeah, that's 28 soldiers. Yeah, right. Like,
platoon.
I failed that test in military history.
Okay, guys, the reason I'm going so overboard with it is I've never seen these people before, and I just transported them to Celene.
True. Yeah. I mean, you do not know them. You've never seen them before.
I fully agree with you. That's why I'm standing right behind her.
Okay. And I think I'm sure at least Mor's Ivy would have said something before we left.
Yeah.
I mean, not too much so for us, but I'm sure he communicated with the Queen to let know that visitors were going to be knocking at their door.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all proceed down the hallway. As you're going, you're passing other guards and they fall in. So by the time you finally make it to the throne room, you have probably close to about 20 guards that you've collected.
Good.
They all have their swords at the ready. Everybody seems to be, and you can see there is some looks of apprehension and almost a little bit of fear on the apprentices. The elven mage doesn't seem to be that bothered, but every once in a while she does cast a glance back to her to the acolytes, to the apprentices that are with her, trying to reassure them that they are in no danger. So finally, when you get to the double doors, they open the doors for you as you walk into the throne room. Again, it's the throne room there in Celene. The Queen is there. Shira is also present. as well as Asenath and Melda. Of course, Moore's Ivy is still in Greyhawk. Mm-hmm. So there are other courtiers around and stuff like that, other people who are a part of the court, but they make way as soon as they see your entourage and the group of soldiers who are with you. As soon as you get to within the proper distance, the queen rises. Melda looks down at you, Kelex, kind of puzzled. She doesn't kind of understand what is happening, but she also spies the elven mage in sort of in the center with her apprentices. And the queen looks and says, "So, I've been told that I am to be questioned concerning the recent events here in my castle."
Your Majesty, I apologize. That was the only way to prove that the events actually happened. You are an impeccable witness, an unassailable witness. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what we needed. And I apologize for not conversing with you prior to it, but events forced my hand. And if I could make amends about any way, please let me know.
Understandable. I see that you've replaced your staff.
Not my staff. These came from Finster, and I turn to the elf purport to turn from Finster. "I'm sorry, my lady, I do not know you."
She kind of smiles and chuckles a minute, and she says, "No, Master Jarn, the new piece of equipment that you carry in your hand. I remembered that you lost your staff in the fight, and now you have a new one."
Indeed.
Congratulations. That is wonderful. So she says, "So, your name is," as she addresses Kana, and Kana steps forward. The apprentices do not move. They stay in their place. Kana walks forward to the appropriate location. She bows, actually curtsies, and says, "Your Majesty, I am Kana of the Crystal Citadel, and I have been tasked by my master, Finster, to question you to the authenticity of the story that was told by Master Jarn at the Conclave this very morning." He said a statement was made that the Emperor of Ket himself was instrumental in bringing Sir Kelex back from the dead. Is this indeed true, Your Majesty? The Queen, very stoic looking, she says, "Yes, that is completely true. And as a matter of fact, if you need any further proof, I could actually direct you to the now lifeless body of the Emperor of Ket himself." You see that you see Kana just kind of like straighten up a little bit more. She's like, "It's like, Your Majesty, am I to believe that the Emperor is dead, and you have the body?" And Shira steps up and she says, "Yes, a young woman. She speaks true, and I can actually take you to the body right now if you would like to verify that the story is indeed as it has been told." You see her, Kana is just stiffens a little bit, and you can see some of the color drains from her, and it's like, we do not doubt, Your Majesty. We do not doubt. We shall leave immediately to let our master know that everything is true and in order. We are very sorry for the inconvenience. And once again, she curtsies very, very low and steps back into the place she was before. Yeah, you kind of think she wasn't expecting that to happen. She was just expecting a tale, a confirmation. She did not realize that there was human remains involved. This is obviously something that Kana has never had to deal with. So when it was brought forward that the Emperor was actually dead and here, that was kind of a little shocking for her. Yep.
Temple. Being behind her, I will lean forward and quietly whisper and say that he lies in state in full respect for him.
She looks down and back at you and says, "That is, but how did he get here? We heard the story, or I was told the story, but where does
he gave his life with his last wish?
He was, you understand that he was a prisoner in Keef.
And when we brought him from the dungeon, yes.
So he brought his enemy back to life with a final wish. That's amazing. You can see now that, your little conversation that's going on, the queen just kind of sits back in her chair and she finishes and says, "So is that all that you require?" She looks to you, Jarn. Says, "Master Jarn, is that enough proof or do you need more?"
That would be up to the lady here.
So immediately the queen's gaze lands back on Kana, and Kana, her eyes wide, she says, "Your Majesty, I require nothing further. Thank you so much for your time."
Would you like transport back to Greyhawk?
She says, "Yes, if that is possible. Master Jarn, we would like that very much."
Teleport.
Okay.
I'm done with 4th level spells for the day.
And so you all are standing here in the throne room. Once Kana and her entourage leave, you see that the guards sort of stand down a little bit and start to they turn and march out in order. Yes.
Before they do that, I thank them.
You see the
thank you.
Yeah, each in turn salute you, and as they leave the room, the queen says, "Well, that was interesting."
It's never boring. It's never boring when we're around.
No, it's not.
At least we didn't bring you a prisoner.
Would you, Your Majesty,
yes.
I believe that our Lord Kelex has some information that he needs to impart to your daughter Nelda.
Oh. Is this something that needs to be done in private? I will be more than happy to release her. She doesn't need
I don't know. It's up to him. But please look at his hip. Please look at his hip.
That was on his back.
I have undulating hips.
On his back. Please look on his.
Yes, Kelex is a bit humbled by it. He does kind of bring out the sword.
As soon as
or doesn't bring it out with the scabbard.
Yeah. As
soon as, excuse me while I whip this out.
Yeah. So as you bring this forward, and the queen looks upon it. She says, "I had a feeling that this was going to occur. Talks had been in place for some time. The Hierophant had actually been in contact with me. And when he said that you were in a delicate situation. And he asked if you were definitely someone who would be had the type of temperament to wield such a blade. I immediately said in the affirmative. I'm glad to see that he took my advice, even though he did not need it. Your reputation precedes you. Everything that you've done for me and my daughter, as she looks over at Melda, that is wonderful. Carry it well. May it bring you further glory and honor, and may you be able to wield it in such a fashion that your enemies fear it, and cower at its actual visage. Good luck to you. So
Kelex bows, and he says, I am humbled and honored by your reference, Your Majesty. Thank you.
I mean, you were the one who delivered me my daughter. You also delivered my son from the clutches of the Zyph demons. How could I not?
I mean, it was actually my companion here that did most of that work, Your Majesty.
Once again, you are too humble. So, I think I have other things to do. I don't mean to run you off. Melda, will you please escort your she just kind of looks at your how should we approach this? Is this a bow? Yes, I think so. So Melda walks down, just kind of looking at you kind of sheepishly and a little like a smile on her face. And she's like, we need to go.
Let's go.
Okay. So the rest of you all just kind of like file out, and you see that.
Did she need to see us concerning a matter? She had asked us to come back before we do anything.
Right. As you're walking off, Melda kind of just whispers to each of you. She says, I think Mother has something special planned for this evening. So make sure that you don't stray too far.
What can be special to the Elf Queen?
And no farting.
I mean, take a bath.
And no farting. She said so. So yeah, Esmelda takes you, walks you all out. She says, "Yeah, I believe Mother has something special planned. So make sure to be here for dinner. But I think she wants you to meet in the throne room prior. So anytime after the probably mid-afternoon probably would be best. Said other than that, I guess you have leave to do as you see fit.
Well, I don't have anything I need
Everybody's
to do.
quiet.
I don't have anything I need to do here.
Okay.
So I'm going to wander.
The tree gave me one funny leg. I wonder what the tree will give me next.
Okay. So is there anybody doing anything special? You probably have about 4 hours before you have to come back.
Is the baby dragon still at the tree?
Nope. The baby dragon has left the area. You're not really too sure where Arabistrax took it. Remember, she has several different different layers. So most likely it was taken somewhere very, very secretive. So, but she is not here. Okay.
Let's go find the Jewish lady and talk to her about what's happened to me.
Okay. So,
sure.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, so you wait a couple of minutes outside and outside of the double doors when they open up, and you see Shira walk through, and she sees you and says, Mistress Gorina, how are you today? She looks at you. She looks
at you. Okay. This morning, not so okay.
She says, so, is everything okay? You've lingered to talk.
Yeah, tell her what happened.
Okay. So you tell her about the situation. She's like, oh. I was kind of wondering when your powers were going to manifest. That's very interesting. And this was not too long after you had came in contact with the tree the other day when the dragon was born.
Yes.
Interesting. I think, though, right now you're just getting a foretaste of what is going to occur in the future for you. And I think once you finally make your way to your homeland, you will truly come into your own. I'm sure it will answer a lot of questions.
Oh, we tell her about the dream.
She's like, oh, so now you're also having dreams of changes? Yes.
Yeah.
Soon. I feel that once you, like I said, make your way to your home, your homeland, your home world, that things will become a lot clearer and your powers will be more easily usable by you.
Well, I don't see how growing a leg could be a good power, but we'll see.
I don't think it's really a matter of growing certain parts and things like that, being able to complete your transformations. Right now, you do not have the power to complete them. But once you have touched base with those, with the power that flows through the realms of the Fae, you will be able to do so much more. So when is it that you're going?
Huh?
To the Feywild. When are you going?
And I hope they keep changing their mind.
Next adventure?
Well, we tried to go several months ago, but you guys kept going off on your little tangents.
So.
Gotta save the girlfriend. Gotta save the other girlfriend. Gotta save the girlfriend's brother. You know.
Okay. So, yeah. So the rest of you spend the rest of your afternoon eating. And was there anything else, Granted, that you had a question for her, or is that pretty much as vague as it could get?
Well, you know, a little vague is better than what I had before, so I'll take the vague.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess she'll go find her room and meditate.
Yeah.
Wonder if I could grow wings.
So,
if you can grow wings and they're really stubby at first, we can cut them off and then fry them up, and then you can grow more, and then we have a constant food supply.
Oh gosh.
No. I don't even know where to go with that.
Yeah, really. That was pretty weird.
Silence. No.
Okay. So,
what about all those herds of buffalo where'd their wings come from?
It's crazy. So, Kelex, Melda kind of takes you apart from Sun. Is congratulations. I'm kind of surprised. I'm sure you were too. Mother did not say anything to me about this, so.
Yes, it was a very surprising moment when it all happened. Is there somewhere we can just go for a walk?
Of course. Let's. We can.
But Brian, I don't know if you want to see if Kiffy or Tomas and the other lot there's something to do first.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys are doing? Not really.
Nope.
Okay. So
a hat for a change.
yeah, I mean, the Broken Bow is always open.
The Fleece. If we go anywhere, I'd go to the Fleece. So
Let's go to the Fleece.
Yeah, but the Fleece is in
In Greyhawk.
Greyhawk, so the Broken Bow is in Instead.
That's right, we're in Instead.
Yeah. So you get to go to the Broken Bow because remember, so here's
I got a lot
the Silver Fleece is in Greyhawk, the Broken Bow is in Instead, the Red Banner Inn is in Pellic. So and the old 90 and the old 97 is in Marydale.
We should create a guidebook to pubs of Greyhawk and put those like the first 5.
Kind of like the Blows Guide.
Yeah, Blows Guide to beer.
Well, you got to put the turkey stand in. We got to have everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, of all the field manuals and guides and maps and things like that you saw in the Revo Brothers shop, none of them covered this. So,
gotta make sure you add the one we burned down.
Oh yeah, the Prophet's Bounty. You guys brought that to the ground, though.
I'm surprised we get invited to places anymore.
Oh, and then
what do you mean?
but
the party.
But wait, there's also what is it? Is it Madam? It's the one where Vitram hangs out in. Oh, what's it called? I can't remember. Is it Mrs. I think it's like Madam Plums or something like that, or Madam something others. Yeah, I'll have to look it up.
Actually, I think it is Madam Plums because
I think it's Madam Plums. Yeah,
you can touch my cherries, but please don't touch my itty bitty plums.
Okay. So, okay, so you guys are at the Broken Bow, getting sloppy with it, and once
I'm not getting sloppy. I'm going to be wise with my eyes open, looking.
Okay. So yeah, as you all are seated, you all end up running into Zathia. Zathia was the childhood friend of Sentisha. She is actually the one taking your order, and again, she welcomes you. Says it's so good to see you all. Glad you've been able to make it back. Have you had any luck yet on your search for the princess?
Which one?
Too many things we're searching for. Too many spoons and irons.
Sadly, we have not. We have not found anything just yet, but we are trying. Keep your spirits up. It'll happen one day. We'll get her.
That's wonderful. So, so she brings you some wine, some mead, and things of that nature. A breadboard with some cheese, as you all sit down and start to chow down a little bit. Anything else that you guys are doing, or I'll run over to Kelex real quick.
Well, we can always set the stables on fire.
That's a pretty high standard.
Okay.
No, like I said, I'm kind of being that protector thing and watching out for everyone because I don't trust people, and it just doesn't seem like we're in a good spot.
Okay. Very cool. Alrighty. So, Kelex, Melda leads you into the garden. Pretty much the same sort of area that you and Temple were in before a couple of days ago when the dragon was born. And she turns and says, "So, here we are. Welcome back." And you're muted. And he's still muted.
This is the best thing that's ever happened to us.
I know, it's been good.
Wow. Okay.
Let's try that again.
Okay. So it's good to be back. I take her hand and I just kind of follow the path along through the garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to apologize. I know when lately, I don't know, how long has it been? It's been a week since I died?
It's been about a week. Yeah.
Been about a week. So I know over the last week when I have been here, I haven't been here. I've been maybe a little distant. But I think hope is shining again. So I just wanted to apologize to you if you felt like I was keeping you distant.
Okay.
Just continue walking.
Yeah.
And
give me a perception check.
All right. I hate perception checks.
Okay, but you did pretty well. And
come on.
Oh, I did too.
Are you all stalking me? Is that it?
Yeah, you can actually hear the sound of plate mail kind of scraping a little bit. But as you turn to kind of look behind you, you just see like a shape of something like hiding behind a tree. But Melda pulls that you says, yes, I know you definitely seemed upset the last time I saw you. I know the dinner didn't go well. Mother was not pleased. She had a talking with me afterwards. Not about you. She was able to understand that you were not the one who had made the farting noise. You could see she just.
And there's like a revelation on his face. Wait a minute, that wasn't me.
No, but no, I know you were upset, and I'm glad to see you seem to be in a little bit better spirits.
After our visit to Greyhawk Cities and at the Church Erroneous, I think I've been given a bit of glimmer of hope that things are back on the right path.
Yes.
Not just for myself, but I'm hoping for you and me.
She smiles at that and she says, about that. I was talking with Mother about this, and the nobles have the ones in court have taken notice that we are obviously an item. She says it kind of slyly, and she says, and I knew this was going to occur, but being that the situation is, they have invoked an ancient law that only elves can rule and can only take an elven monarchs. You understand.
We've got magic for that.
But
you can see he's okay. Go on.
But I have also told her that I would rather not take the throne if I could not take it with you.
Aww.
So
I'm sorry. I'm also laughing at Belinda's little note in Roll20.
And so she says, so we have definitely, we talked about this, but unfortunately it leaves me in a bit of a bind that Asenath is a part of the prophecy. And with Asenath being part of the prophecy, she is no longer eligible to take the throne. So we're at a hard point. I can't take the throne. I don't want to take the throne. But Asenath can't either. So I know that it has been speculated that Sentisha she would be the only one left. This does not make Mother happy. And Grandmother is also not pleased with this knowledge. I mean, so far, Santaisha has not returned, and she has not caused any trouble recently. But I just wanted to let you know what the situation was. I mean, don't think that Mother and Grandmother don't think the world of you. They do, but they are being pressured by the nobles to keep to the law, and I understand that.
I do as well. I totally understand the meaning of duty, right?
Of course.
I'm glad.
I'm glad you understand. I figured you would.
And I want you to look me straight in the eyes and tell me, are you okay with not taking the throne?
If you remember when you met me, I was just a traveler walking through the woods that decided to shoot a couple of arrows at some giants. While this place is wonderful and I'm glad to be surrounded by family, I would rather be fighting alongside you and your friends than to be trapped here on a throne of roses. You can see that she's
well played.
Yeah.
What we're playing.
Oh God.
While this is going on, I rolled a 21, and I'm playing the theme from Ice Castles. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, so you hear this music floating through the air around you.
Damn it!
Everywhere.
Didn't know your life had a soundtrack.
You don't know how much it means for me to hear that. I tell her I love you. I tell her I love her, and but
she returns it as well.
Santaisha, that's Grin is not going to like this idea.
Yeah.
So what if we were to?
But
obviously, there's something wrong with Santaisha.
Yeah, she's quite dangerous. I mean, obviously not as dangerous as what you just came across in Xive, but I think, though, you have time. I don't think you have to worry about finding Santaisha now.
Okay.
I know that Grenna, she needs to find herself.
Okay. No.
And I think it would be don't worry about me, and don't worry about
Of course, I'm going to worry about you.
I know. But Celene, don't worry about Celene. Celene is in good hands. But Grenna needs your all's help right now. I think there's things that are going on with her that even she is not ready to address.
And your caring, compassionate understanding is one of the things I do love about you. And that's really weird saying it because I know the DM's a guy. So that's
hey, we're role playing here, kids. Role playing.
Yeah, but there are limits. Trust me.
Well, that's why we do the fade to black.
And I'm sure
we always do fade to black. Fade to black.
And I'm sure, and Grenna would very much appreciate that. The one concern I have is if going to the Feywild, I've heard the tales. Time is not quite is different there.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping when we come back and our troubles hadn't gotten worse while we were gone.
Of course. No, I understand.
But that's never going to happen.
They're going to get worse. You know they are.
I know that. Pav knows that. But
Said, well, yeah, and I know you're running out of time because the prophecy has stated that you
5 months. 5 months we have left.
Yeah, you eventually will have to travel very far. So This is good.
Ooh.
I'm glad that you understand. And I'm glad that we were able to find common ground on this. This is wonderful. As she just wraps her arms up, in yours and gives you a big hug. And, then we'll do the fade to black thingy. Alrighty. So, you all, Jarn?
Chasing Moss Isley.
What about
Got to chase down Moss Isley.
Okay, he's still in Greyhawk, but okay.
I can't chase him down today. Okay.
Okay. So you all meet back a little bit before dinner at the throne room. Again, but this time there are only just the royal family is there. You see that the Queen, Shira, Asenath, Melda, of course, are there at the throne. You all step forward once again. And the Queen rises and says, again, even though I can't really consider you my champions because you are not of my realm, I do consider you extremely special. And I have been working.
We are the guardians of Greyhawk, milady.
I have been pulling some strings and talking with some people, and have found that I think it would be right of me to reward you in some way. I know that titles are not what you. I can't give you land here, for you are not elves. But I can give you gifts, and I want each of you to have something. As a matter of fact, I know that Jarn, you have already received something. Kelex, you have received something very important. But the rest of you seem to have... I didn't want you to escape without knowing how much the crown of Celene appreciates your hard work. She immediately turns and looks over to Asenath, who walks down the stairs, and she's carrying a box that's probably about like this big. It's probably about a little over a foot long or something like that. And she walks over to you, Timble, and hands you this box. And the Queen's and she steps back onto the by the throne and says that Lord Chancellor, you feel free to open that box. This is definitely something that I think that you would appreciate, and I hope you will be able to use it in all of your future endeavors. And
I'll look at the Queen and say, Your Grace, thank you. And Lady, thank you to Asenath.
And so as you open this box, you're looking down at this beautiful, it's a dagger. It's really impressive. And if you make a arcane knowledge check...
Oh, sure.
I'll let you know if you know what it is. If not, maybe not with a 6. Oh, Jarn. Oh, an 18. Okay. Oh, no, that's Tomas. Temple.
Yeah,
Temple got a 6. Okay. So Temple, you're looking at it. You're looking at it, and you're like, it's absolutely beautiful. It looks extremely functional. It looks razor sharp. But you're not really too sure exactly what it does. But Tomas, you've heard of these. Jarn, you didn't really know that much about them either. But Tomas, you kind of heard of this blade before. And are you going to kind of whisper it to... You see that Timble is kind of at a loss. He's just kind of like going, oh.
Actually, I'm not going to tell him what it is because you haven't told me yet. But I'm going to say, tell her thank you. It's fucking cool.
I did thank her, and I thank you again, Your Grace.
Okay.
And I will pick it up and out of that.
Cool.
Post action, I'll tell them what it is, Brian.
Okay. It's a Lut blade.
Sweet.
Okay.
Is it a Yarmir Yarger? Lut blade?
You missed. No, I didn't. I tried again.
It's a Lut blade.
And again, and again, and again.
So yeah. So that's what you get. So the she looks over at Tomas and says, Lord Ambassador Tomas. And then she sort of looks over to Melda, who brings out it's a small box, probably like about this big. And
like
she brings it down to you and hands it to you. And the queen says, I hope that this will help you in your future endeavors as well. And so you open this thing up, and it is it's a necklace that has a amulet on it, on the necklace. Arcane knowledge check for anybody who happens to know anything.
Sorry. I threw a history at it first, so.
Okay. I am not even proficient, and I'm going to go try.
Okay. Cool. Okay, actually you did really well. So as you're looking at it, you realize that this is a amulet of protection +2. So it actually it adds +2 to your savings throws.
That's cool. You got that?
Got it.
It's kind of a cool thing to have.
Yeah.
I'm just going to point out, guys, notice how he's bumping all our saving throws as we get ready to go into all of our next things. All right, well, these guys need help because their saving throws fucking suck.
Well, we really pissed the day off by waiting so long to go, so we're going to need all the luck we can get.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Holy Avengers is going to help a significant.
You're going to go first.
Yep.
So
whoosh,
thank you, Your Grace.
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
So the queen, so you're most welcome. She looks around and she says, "Where's Val?" And just as she says it, the door kind of flies open, and you see Val kind of like walk in. He's like, you can tell that he's like late, and he's carrying a pretty long box with him. But it's not really too incredibly long. It's probably about like 4 feet or something like that, 4 feet tall. And you can just see that the queen looks a little bit annoyed. And he walks over and says, Your Majesty, I'm very sorry. I was late, as you can tell. And he just kind of steps back next to Asenath, who just kind of looks up at him and goes like this.
One job, dude.
He's just looking straight ahead, and she said, the queen says, Mistress Grenna, if you would please accept this token of our gratitude. And Val walks down and he hands you this beautiful wooden box. And you open it up. Inside is an absolutely beautiful bow. I mean, it is very, very, very ornate, very special. You could tell that there's obviously not just the craftsmanship, but there is power that emanates from it. So you can make an arcane knowledge check. Would probably be the best. Okay. Oh, wow. Actually, everybody did good. How many people did that? Was it like everybody?
I'll try at least once. Like I said,
Temple didn't know what it was, but everybody else was like, "Hey,
it's pretty."
Kelex doesn't either. But Grenna, you realize that what you've been handed is an oath bow.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, hey.
And the queen says, and of course, last but not least, Master and Dr. Kiffy, I would be, it would be a great dishonor not to present you with something equally as special.
Ask for 3 of her pubic hairs, dude.
Man.
And so Shira turns and is holding a, it looks to be a box that's probably about the size, kind of like a hat box. And she walks over and presents it to you as the queen says, and for you, Master Dwarf, I believe that this will come in handy for you, hopefully in your future endeavors. And as you open it up, I need you to make an arcane knowledge check. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you know exactly what it is. It is, I believe it's called a Helm of Understanding. And what it does is that once you wear it, you're able to understand and you can understand and talk to, you can use any other language, like any languages that you can talk with everybody and understand what is being said.
Nifty.
Yep. It's a nifty item.
Very cool.
So the queen stands, she says, so I thank you again for everything that you've done. Please, I invite you to dine with us this evening. She takes a really sharp look over at Jarn and says, and sir, hopefully you'll refrain from using such magical spells as you did last time.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Your Majesty.
Very good. And so they all turn and everybody walks back through one of the side doors. You can hear Val just kind of snickers at that as you all are walking by. Said, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh. All right. Got to do it.
Hey, Brian, as we wrap this up, just checking. The amulet, they've nerfed protection.
They
so
did.
Just letting you know.
Those dicks.
So they looks like they capped it at +1, and it's a +1 armor class and saving throws. So
that's fine. Yeah, that'll work.
So, and they don't call them amulets; they call it cloak of protection. Is that cool with you?
Well, damn.
Because I'm trying to add it to my character sheet.
Oh, so. Okay. Well, you can use it. Yeah, do it as a cloak. But there's just trying to kind of keep in mind that it is a +2. It's a shame they don't allow you to add.
I agree.
Special things to it. That's kind of.
I ran into kind of the same thing.
Okay.
And it's they don't have a luck dagger. They have like short sword, scimitar, rapier, all the way up to great sword.
Okay.
I think you can add a custom item. It's just a kind of a pain in the butt. Have a look in D&D Beyond, not in your player character, but in the actual website. Because sometimes people will make these items and then they'll share them so you can use them.
Okay. Yeah, so it's got to be. I think it's got to be something he's got to create. That's what I was going to say.
So
he creates it and adds it to the campaign, and then I could add it to my character.
How about this? How about this? Because they have that listed, but they have great sword, long sword, rapier, scimitars, and short swords. Do you want a short sword or a rapier?
I'd take a rapier first, since that's my main weapon.
Okay, so let's do the rapier luck blade, and that is in D&D Beyond. Cool. Okay. Good deal. Alrighty. Well, I think this is probably a fine enough place to call it an evening. Sorry you didn't get to do any combat, but it looks like you all have set yourself up for some Feywild travel, hopefully. And we will try to do this again next week, I hope. Yeah. So, but thanks, guys, for showing up this evening. I know that it's sometimes hit or miss that we get to play, but I was really glad that you guys got a chance to do it this evening. I did have something else I wanted to add. Did you guys have a good time?
Hell yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, as long as you guys have a good time, I'm fine. That's good. Yeah. But yeah, I, as you kind of figured, it looks like you guys are probably going to get ready to go into, as you can see, that you're probably going into harm's way pretty soon. But that's about normal, kind of part of the course. So good.
Yeah.
Well, but no, I'm glad you guys had a good time.
My thought for chasing in Taro or Mos Eisley earlier, we need a boat. Boats take lead time. So I'm looking to go to the cold lands via teleport, setting up the boat, and coming back. Y'all want to go to the cold lands? Y'all want to do that first before the Fey? Because it's going to take time. But it shouldn't take a whole session.
Well, that's the thing, right? I'm sure we can get boats at port. We just got to throw money at it.
Remember,
but I think if I remember right in the vision, it was like a combination of the Northernlands and Celene, wasn't it? There was something Celene-ish about it.
Well, it was covered. It was a covered boat, but it was a Drakkar.
Yeah.
Was that like it being a Shaka Khan?
I think what you were thinking
the
was
depth of your knowledge sometimes scares me.
I think what you were thinking of, Kelex, was that there was the flag of Celene that was flying from the top mast.
Okay, that makes sense.
It was the North boat.
Yeah, but the ship itself was definitely of the make of Jarn's people. So
it was a Gnaw, not a dragon ship.
Yeah, it was like a Gnar. Yeah. So because Celene doesn't really have a navy because it's a landlocked country, so it's kind of
Did we capture the name of the ship? It'd be interesting if we commission the same ship and then we know we're right there.
That's okay. I know the name of the ship.
Oh.
The Frani Orma.
No name. I know its name.
No. It's the Frani Orma. The Shining Worm.
Shining Worm.
That's fitting with our group.
It is.
Glow, little glowworm, glimmer, glimmer.
Oh, God.
Alrighty. So, folks watching at home, thank you all very much for checking us out. Make sure to check out our podcast on iTunes and Spotify. Just look for the Mystic Syndicate. You can also check for our videos, playback of these sessions on our YouTube channel. Just type in The Mystic Syndicate. Don't get it confused with Mystic Syndicate. They're a band in North Carolina. We are the Mystic Syndicate.
We're number one. We're number one.
We're awesome. If you like what you see here, make sure to give us a thumbs up or a like. We love to hear from peeps. Hopefully soon we're going to do another giveaway day. I still have some dice to give away. We need to plan that, and we'll put that on X and Facebook and all that good stuff.
And on that note, Brian, I do have a giveaway coming up as well. A big giveaway. I'm saving it for our 73rd episode.
Ooh.
The one we pass Game of Thrones is I'm going to give away my hardbound copies of the
Troll Lords,
Castles and Crusades, or Troll Lords, Castles and Crusades.
Okay.
I'm a backer on the quick starter. They're going now for Castle Zygig.
Nice.
Except I just want all the digital content and all the secondary content. I'll never crack the core books, so I'm going to give those away to somebody that I want to back Troll Lords. And secondly, I think it's a great system, and it's Gary Gygax's, Castle Greyhawk, but they didn't let him do it, so he got to do his thing. Nice. Supports the family. They had a loss in the family. It helps everybody. So I've asked Troll Lord Games if that's okay. They've said yes. I'm just waiting until the Kickstarter is over to truly, truly, truly announce it.
Yeah. I actually was going through my books the other day and found that I have a 3rd edition player's handbook. I have 2 of them. I didn't know I had 2 of them. And I was thinking, ooh, I could give one of these away to somebody. I have the two that I have. One still has the CD in it that had the character generator.
Ooh.
I know. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. I still have that. It wasn't even opened. It's still sealed. And I'm like, that's freaking crazy. How the hell do I still have this? And then I realized, oh, I had two copies of it. So I was like, well, I think I would probably give away the copy that doesn't have the disc in it. I know. Seems
You shyster.
I know. Aren't I terrible? But I have other books too that I was looking at. I'm like going, am I ever going to actually play this game? Probably freaking never. So
And hell, some of my books, the pages still stick together.
Okay, that's good.
Wow.
Was it the original deities and demigods? There were some pretty scantily clad drawings in there.
I actually happen to have a near pristine copy of the Book of Erotic Fantasy.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, you showed me that.
Russ, what was the name of this boat? The shiny worm?
Frowning Order. FRANIONMRO.
But it's the shiny worm, right?
Yeah,
Shiny
just the shiny worm. Shit, fuck everything else.
All right.
It fits with our group, especially Tomas.
I don't have a worm.
Well, obviously, but you got something new growing. So anyway,
I swear, heaven weather.
That was the last thing that was on there before Twitch got out.
Brian's tried. He's like, shut down the fucking stream. Shut down the fucking stream.
Are we done?
Shut up. So. Oh really? I could do Simada Abubukwe. Ta-da. Or dead ant.